Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? Thank you for joining us today. We're going to go over how to use shortcuts, how to get you out of the office way earlier than anyone else on your team because you know how to move efficiently through Revit and the program does not hinder your productivity nor your creativity, right? So let's begin just by showing you where your shortcuts actually live. If you go to View, you go all the way to the right here, User Interface, and then all the way at the bottom you have Keyboard Shortcuts. Now, this is the only time that you'll see me go here and here and here because the shortcut for that is KS, okay? Kosovo represent. So, KS, okay, KS. If your shortcut doesn't work, alright, if you keep like hitting the keys over and over and over again, hit escape a bunch of times and you're out of there. So before we actually even get into these shortcuts, let me just tell you something, okay? Your right hand should be on your mouse at all times, or at least 97% of the time, okay? Your left hand should be on the keyboard 95% of the time, okay? Your pinky, and I'm just telling you like this is the way I do this, but it's proven to me that I can put together 500 unit projects all alone, all the way up to CDs, along with 3 other simultaneous projects, all the way from SD to CD, all alone, an entire set. Yes, we start with the template, so a lot of the details are done, but I mean, you guys know if you've worked in an office how much work goes into creating drawings, right? But I've come up with methods that have proven successful. So, putting that out there, and before you judge it, before you just say, oh, I can't do this because I'm moving like a snail. Yeah, I moved like a snail too. I started on Adobe Flash, okay? From Adobe Flash, I played around on Maya. From Maya, I messed around with Illustrator, then Photoshop, and then, I mean, you name it, I was like just learning the program ever since I was 10 till like 17, from 17 till 19. Well, from 17, I started dabbling with Revit, and I really haven't stopped working on Revit ever since. I had one instructor who told me like very specific ways of how to start a project. She was right. There are very specific ways in which you start a project, and there's different approaches depending on the different scope of work that you've been contracted to do. And the type of drawings that you're expected to produce as your deliverables, right? So, like I was saying, before you say, hey, I'm moving like a snail, I can't do this, it's like everything else. You just slow down, do it for like a week, okay? If you're working in an office, you have enough practice, 8 hours a day, on a keyboard to move slower. Now, keep your left hand on the keyboard. Keep your pinky on the escape key. You're going to use the escape key probably more times than you're actually breathing throughout the day, okay? So have that there, okay? And then just, you need to go slow because without looking, you need to start memorizing where these single individual keys are. If you've already memorized the keyboard to that extent where you just don't have to look, or you're comfortable, just great. If not, don't worry. After like 1 week, you'll get back to the pace you were at by going to the ribbon every day, okay? So you'll come back to normal speed relative to where you were. After another week, you'll be moving faster. After another 2 weeks, you'll be flying through things, and I'm going to demonstrate all of that through here. So this is all the advice I have to hand placement, okay? And it's funny because I don't think anyone ever talks about hand placement, but it's important. It's like CAD. If you don't have your hand on escape and spacebar, you're skipping out on half of your productivity. It's nonsense. It's silly. Don't do it. There's no excuse for you to just waste your time. It's like waiting at a stop, a red light 3 times in a row when no one's asking you to. So, with that said, and that's all I ask of you, keep your left hand on the keyboard with your left pinky on the escape key at all times, and be ready to type with one hand. I mean, obviously, you use your other hand if you actually need to start typing annotations, be reasonable, but that's number 1. So let's get into why we need to use shortcuts. Okay. Thank you. So let's say you want to make a detail for a transition from your ground floor concrete slab to your sidewalk, right? You need to go to annotate, detail line, whatever, pick your line style. You can't do anything but that, right? Or you realize you don't need a line actually. You go back, you go to component, you type in JIP. Alright, you take your 5/8 JIP. Alright, you got 2 layers. Okay. You go to region. You go here. You go here. You do this, So, oops. Okay, we can copy this from there to there by dragging it manually. Right, so we got something going now, right? We can take these, we can go here, I should have picked from here to there. Oh, sorry, I used a shortcut. We go to modify, we extend all. Alright, so that's one way, okay? Or I could hit DC, hit a JIP, do this, hit copy, snap to the end, FF, do a filled region, this way, that way, okay? Again, this is all manual work. You can't get around this part. Thank you for going there. That's exactly where I wanted to measure from. Okay. Copy SE, MA, mesh property. Drag this. Copy SE and SE. Alright, another DC for detail component. I go to stud. Let's go to 5. Okay, let's go to 4. Sorry. That's fine. Let's push the... Do we have anything modeled for... No, okay. Yes. We need this one anyway. We don't need a channel or a C stud. Okay. Move SE, EA, because I don't think these guys went down. Right, another FF, because I'm going to need to draw a little screed here. TR, OF, 1/8 inch. So on and so forth. DM, snap, draw mirror axis, TR to trim that. CO copy, SE snap end. No one needs a J screed that big. Okay. Why in the world? Oh, this is in Photoshop. If you didn't know, but if you're trying to select a line, you can just type, whatever you need. I guess after a while it gets broken, but if you need a 4, you just type 4 and you hit enter, and you got 4. Okay, Control Z out of that. I'm sorry guys, it's late in the night. This is this is backwards, okay. Let's do a gray. Let's pull that up. Let's do a ET for extend. Element, not elements. What do I want? Backer rod. 1/2 inch is cool. 1/2 inch reveal is chill. Okay, I guess I'm sorry, I don't need all that. We just want to have some sealant here. Okay, we don't need to make sealant that thick. We can copy that. Drag that there. Let's make this a 1 for graphic purposes. And then we have multiple selected already, so we can just drag those babies that way. And let's push that there a little bit. Okay, cool. So, you know, you guys are starting to get the point. I had to do a lot of, you know, copying, drawing new lines, new patterns, snapping to different points. These are all things that you need to do frequently, often, you know. Like you see something, you don't have to go somewhere to select a tool to fix it. I mean, I just saw that, right? And look, I can just hit EA and boom, boom. I'm already like working. There's no need to, I don't know, like make it harder for yourself. No need at all. So I think everyone just needs to, I don't know, calm down a little bit. Relax. I don't have any thicker dash lines. This is fine, I guess. You know, everyone should just calm down a little bit and relax. Because it's all good. It's all good because after you get this, you'll be golden. You'll be golden, pony boy, and you'll stay golden. Okay? Just like how the dying character whose name no one remembers. Just kidding. But I don't remember. Alright, so we need some self-adhered sheet metal. Let's make those line up. They're not going to because they both meet there. Let's change this to like a... That's fine, right? Okay. And then let's see, we got something like this going on. Oh, might have canceled out that. So, alright. Let's say we got some stucco. I don't think my line works. Okay, so let's say you created a shortcut, right? You know, LI is line, right? At least in modify, create, fill, region, boundary prompt, right? As long as you're in here, this is a different line now. So while we're still in here, we can hit KS and go to shortcuts. This is one shortcut I've been, you know, just neglecting, and I've been wasting a lot of time going up there. So I don't know why I've never done it. So let's do it. Line. And where are we? Create, filled, region, boundary. Sketch, bending, no, additional setting, line styles, line, line, line. Okay. Detail line, DL, linear dimension, model line. Reference line, model line, boundary. I don't need, okay, let's see. Oh, this is cool. Alright, I will be super honest with you guys. I've never noticed that these paths are exactly where these guys are. But, okay, that's why I have noticed and then didn't care because it just says contextual tabs. Okay, default line. Okay, that's probably it. Sorry, I flew past that warning. I'll show you guys why it's okay. So, shortcut LI is currently assigned to the command model line, boundary line, rebar line, right? This is that one that we just deleted, but I will tell you that there's also another error association with another LI that's in here somewhere, which is just regular model line, okay? So it's just telling us about one error, which is all it needs to do. We're okay with it because, and I'm not talking about this one that we just deleted. I'm talking about the overlap with the model line shortcut that it's sharing right now. I'm okay with it, and I'll tell you why, because you can only draw a model line when you're not in a special, drawing view, such as this blue one here, which is modify create filled region boundary, right? So if I wanted to use the LI for model line, which it is, assigned to, it's not letting me because I can't draw a model line while I'm trying to create a filled region boundary. So that's why these overlaps are okay, and that's why I'm saying that this duplicate is fine. It even says right here, duplicates are allowed. The arrow keys will cycle through matches displayed in the status bar, and the space bar will execute them. So if anyone didn't know, on the bottom left here, this is your status bar. I've never really paid attention to it while pressing shortcuts, but I'll start to see. Maybe it does show us something. Okay, so default pick lines. Okay, that's why that works. Because that always works for me. Pick line. Right. So default line. Are there any other defaults that I'm missing? No. Yeah, I don't need this, so we can remove that. Okay, cool. That's it. See, we have detail line, we have model line, line work. I think these are default, just FYI, model line and detail line, but check as you go. I guess just FYI. 3D view, default 3D view. This is not a default shortcut for some reason to fly to your 3D view to check out what you're looking at. 3D is not a shortcut. Make it a shortcut. That's nuts. Okay? That's nuts. Why? Alright? These ones don't matter. Add to group doesn't really, array, again, array, I don't know why you need to use arrays unless you're a student, you're just playing around making cool models. That's fun, but I don't know, you can always use array. Anyway, array is AR, attach top base, attach the structure, so you have attach for everything, because like I said, you can use attach, these shortcuts only when it's allowed to, right? All of these are for different specific views or prompts or editing, editing modify views. So let's see, what else is important here? Selection box. This is fantastic, and I will show you as I do everything here. Let's say you are inspecting a staircase, okay? You should never look at stair drawings just in plan. You should have side-by-side windows of a 3D view with the cut maybe in section. You can see all the landings are exactly where they need to be. You can see visual cues. You should have an actual section drawing posted up as well. Again, just hit WT for window tile, And I don't, whenever I say shortcut, I'm not sure if it's default or not. I've had these shortcuts in here since 2000, and I've had the same shortcut since like 2013. No, like 2009. Yeah, 2009. Yes. Oh, yeah. So anyway, what else? What else? Close and active views, great to have once you have a really a high memory model. Your views will take up RAM, so close those out if you need to. Place component. This is great. Whatever you need and while you're modeling, here you go. You just hit CM and it comes up. Copy. Apply coping. I'm not sure. I've never used that. Create similar. I use all the time. If you're creating unit plans, let's say, you don't need to hit DR to create a door and then make sure you have the right door type. Just select the door that you were going to create if it's right there for you, and then hit CS, and then it'll create similar to whatever you selected. Okay. What else we got here? These are all your Microsoft's. Oh my God! Control Shift A. Who knew? What? Nice, guys. See, this is what happens when you just like scroll through everything nice and slow. Okay, this is great. We're all learning. So all caps. There you go. If you ever like copy any bit of information from anywhere and into Revit, and it's not all caps, which you usually need it to be, bada bing, bada boom. All right, that's so cool. All right, so I get very excited. Viewport, deactivate view. Now, yeah, fine. You can argue that it takes nothing to hit right click and then hit deactivate view or double click outside of the view. But you know damn well that there's been times where you've double clicked outside the viewport, but lo and behold, there's some element that has some part of it that's out there that when you double click, you're now all of a sudden editing a floor, you're editing a family, you're editing something. So I avoid that because my left hand's already on the keyboards at all times. So I hit DA, I'm already out of the view. And I do it safely without interrupting any other, drawing or floor or whatever. So detail component, as I was showing you while drafting, you need detail component constantly, as much as you need detail lines. So there's no reason not to have that. DE, delete. I kind of don't want that here at all. That's weird. Okay. I just, DE, my fingers swing around, and if I don't have a particular shortcut for delete, that is DE, I won't know that I made that mistake, so I'm getting rid of that. Also, whatever modifications you make, they won't be applied until you hit OK, alright? So make sure you hit OK if you're going to make a lot of changes, or even just 1, 2, 3 changes. So, duct fitting, I don't care, I never duct fits. These are defaults. Anything I'm telling you I don't use, these are all defaults. Align dimension, obviously, you need to add dimensions to everything. This is DI. I'm pretty sure this is a default shortcut. Let's see, door, duct if you need, whatever, but, that's fine. Yeah, some people get into high-level drawings like that, make up for where their engineers are slacking. That's great. Hide in view, fantastic. EH, edit group. You can just double-click to edit a group. I'll show you guys how to change all that too. Spot elevation, that's awesome. I think I added that. That might be a default, but I forgot about this. Either way, great to have. Override graphics in view. This is a default. Okay, so when you right click and you override graphics of an element for that view, this is just EOD. Let's see. Unhide element, EU. You need to put this in. Filled region, this is not default. FF. These are just ones I thought would make sense. Filled. I just picked the two Fs that were here. I think I tried something else like FR, but I got that warning, like you have a duplicate, and it was like my first time. So I put in FF. I got used to FF. You know, make it yours. Make all this yours. This one, finish edit mode. Okay, FM. This check mark right here, right? Every time you draw something, you need to go and like say, hey, thank you, I'm done. And sometimes you're like in one of these other tabs, so you have to go to this tab and then you have to go to check that. F that. Get out of here. Like, you have a life to live. If you don't want to have social life, if you don't want to do anything else but just work on Revit redlines, by all means. But please, if you do want to have a life outside of work, start doing this, right? Look at all these, right? Every time I'm drawing something, I don't need to go hit that check mark. It's the most annoying thing. I don't know. It's not annoying to you yet because I don't think maybe you've seen, you know, the other side of the pasture, but please take my word and try it out. So let's see, graphic display options. That's good to have. I don't use that often. Just to set up like a view once as soon as I open it or create it. But again, that's something that view templates can take care of. No need to dabble with anyway. Hide category. That's a bold move, Cotton. I just, you know, I stay away from that. I don't do it that often where I hide an entire category. That should be part of your view templates. Hide element, fine. I use this a lot, but I use EH. I didn't know HH was here, so that's your default, I suppose. Isolate element. This is fantastic. Let's say you're working on a detail or you're working on a floor slab and there's walls on that floor and there's a curb on that at the edge of that slab where the wall sits atop of, and you're trying to dimension the, you know, like the edge of slab. I don't know why you would do it in a drawing where it shows everything else, but let's just say you need it. The best way to do it, just select the slab, hit HI. It will hide everything else temporarily, and show you only what you have selected. Okay. Then you can add the dimensions, hit HR, and then your view will be back to normal, and your dimensions will stay there. And you don't need to search and look and guess and, you know, get out of here. So, isolate category. That's cool. I've never really. Darn, I gotta use that more often. Man, I just got excited. Okay, what? I'm writing this one down so I really don't forget this one. Isolate category. Okay. What was the other one? All caps. Unbelievable. What have we learned today? Okay, cool. Group, GP. I think we said that one. Model line, LI, link. Don't do this. Don't do this. Just go insert. Whenever you have to like actually insert something, there's no shortcuts. Go do it the right way. That's where I don't, you know, risk anything. Don't. If you need to export something, if you need to import something that is critical to your work, no. Just go straight to exactly where you need to go, get it done, and be done. LL level, that's fine. Fun to use, especially if you need to create a bunch of levels. Yeah, sounds so cool. Line work, I don't know if you guys know this. I'll show you guys this later. But line work, well, okay, it gets complicated in terms of like hierarchy of graphic elements and stuff like that. But if you need to change the line weight and line style of an element to something else real quick, you can hit line work real fast, which is this guy right here, okay? And you can change a segment of any element to whatever line type you have selected. All right, so that's that. Match type properties, you need to use that all the time. Mirror, awesome to use. And then DM, draw mirror axis, right? So if you don't have an axis, you can just like draw one with DM. Move, MV obviously, offset, OF. All your pastes. When you go to paste, you go to your clipboard. There's a lot of options. I have a shortcut for all of them. Like, why not? Because you paste all the time, right? Pick lines. Whenever you're editing, you're drawing something, a wall, a floor, a steel, a beam, a something. This pick line can be a different tool, right? So line pick lines, grid pick lines, truss pick lines. And you can just type in pick lines and all of them will come up because there's more. And just type PL, 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 PL. You'll get that duplicate warning, but it's not even a warning. It just says, hey, you're doing this, and it's fine. Okay, thank you. So pin, you should always pin work that has been defined, all right, and set in place. Again, your pastes. Scale. These are scale, detail, line, dimension. These are all like really generic drafting tools that you should have in your repertoire like that. You should just, this should be you at the office, right? This is all you should hear. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. So that's all you need, all right? If you're not doing that, I know you're not doing it right. I know. I'm going to call your offices. I'm going to ask. All right. Reload latest. Fine. You should always reload latest before you sync if you guys are on a really large team. It helps the system sync easier. Less room for it to kind of crash. Sometimes it crashes, you know. You guys know this, okay? Floor. All right. I don't build structural floors. I just do architectural floors. Room tag. RM for room. Create a room. Endpoints. These are all, you need all these snaps. These are so good. So good to have it. All right. I will show you guys how amazing snaps are. Set work plane. You use this. I mean, I use it constantly. If you're a responsible architect, you check things from every angle in 3D, in 2D, in etc. So you need to reset your work plane to another wall, a beam, something, yada, bada, bada. All right. So you set your work plane a lot. Do it with SX. What else? Text, right? Create text, TX. That's default. Thin lines. That just changes the visibility of all the lines on your screen to thin lines. Okay, and then you can just toggle it back. You do this just to make sure that your drawing is accurate and everything is where it needs to be, and it's not skewed by the thick lines, and so forth. So yeah, WT is window tile. So if you want to open up, you know, your 3D view, a section and a floor plan of your stairs, you hit WT and they will all resize automatically. If you want to shrink back or enlarge full size like we have here, back to just 1, you hit TW and I'll get you there. Okay. On group, UG. On join, UJ. Project units, UN. Never use that as a shortcut. Unpin UP, and VG, visibility graphics, and VV. So those two you should obviously know, and hide in VU by category. Again, which you should not do. That should be part of your view templates. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit FM instead of going there to hit the check mark. Okay. And you never see me. You never catch me saving, dog. Let's go to stucco. Let's go to plaster. Same thing, dog. Same thing. All right. So let's do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Well, let's see if we fix the line thing. LI. What? See, we didn't fix the line thing, which is the reason why we went there. God damn it. Alright. Alright, we'll fix this. What? Well, we're going to fix this. Okay. So. That freaking line, man. Line. Contextual tab. Okay, let's see. Line. Stare on line. Okay, fine. Okay, here. We need to add it to these guys, wherever it says line at the end. So, create contour. Create contour? Could that be it? Nah. I feel like there's no... Ooh, line. Yeah, that has to be it. I'm going to get rid of this one because I'm so confident about that one. Hold on. Okay, line. Okay, let's go back in here. LI. Yeah! Okay, cool. Alright, perfect. Okay, so now that we have line, I didn't have this line before, so line... LI, and boom. Okay, so, all I'm saying, guys, is there is no need to break your neck over nothing, right? FM, we're just chilling, guys. We are just chilling. So instead of switching it back to concrete, because I made the mistake of not copying first, I'm just going to copy it this way since I already have it, and then match property to that one so that I don't waste my time or anyone else's time. Yeah. Alright, sorry. I will shut up now. Okay. Alright. Something like this, right? So, LW. It doesn't work for detailed components, but if we are in a section view, in a... it doesn't matter if we're in a section view, it doesn't matter if we are in a 3D view, plan, whatever. As long as you're selecting like a model element, you can hit LW and... for example, we have invisible lines selected, and then you can hide some lines. Now, don't do this like in your drawings just to get your work done faster because you don't want to model something correctly. When you do this, it only affects one view, right? This only affects my 3D view. So, don't be a cheapskate. People will notice in 2 seconds. Your project manager knows how to like go into Revit and look at Revit, so it'd be silly to try to fool anyone. So let's go back in here. I don't have a detail component for bat installation because I just don't use this enough. If I do, I tend to just copy it because you have to always kind of put in the width of the installation, and it's just, I get bored, you know. So break double, I don't need a double, sorry. Break line. Okay, so yeah, now we have this. Now we have this. Okay, and now we have, I'm going to just do like this because I don't know why, but I don't know, just the act of rotating is just a pain in my butt. Although rotating, by the way, you can just, if you need to rotate, you go RO. Instead of center of rotation place, instead of going there, you can hit spacebar, and then you can just select where you want to rotate it from, and then you can just type in what you want, and bada bing bada boom. So you know, you don't have to place your rotation anywhere if you just want to rotate it arbitrarily, you know, or just like 90 degrees and then place it. That's fine. So you know, lots of things to consider. Yeah, so we need like a metal lathe here. We need like a metal screed. We need some like a drain sort of deal in here. Lots of things to keep going on, but that's beside the point. So, snapping, right? What can we say about snapping? Why does it keep going there? Or I mean, just like random. Oops. Okay, so oops. Okay. So let's talk about snapping real quick. Let's say you want to draw a line. All right. Let's say you want to draw a line here at this corner, right? But you don't want to zoom in and be all like, oh my god, I need to go in there. Let's say you just want to do it fast. You just go in here, hit SE. Okay, and then just go to wherever you want. Just as long as you're on like this half of the element that you're selecting, it'll go to that endpoint, right? So here, endpoint, 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 endpoint. And then here, since, which one did we split? Yeah, we split this one. This one's full length, so these are the endpoints. This is the midpoint of this one. This is the midpoint of that one. All the midpoints, right? I don't need to look for the midpoint. I don't need to guess the midpoint. You never catch me looking around for a midpoint, okay? You never catch me looking for the center of a circle. Look at that. What, you know? So these are things I think everyone can learn. And really, it should improve your workflow by a lot if once you start getting it, you know. So I I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, I'll post all the shortcuts I use below. I don't think all of them will be there, but most of them will. If you see me doing anything that you couldn't understand, please let me know below in the comments. I have been checking for questions like a freak, waiting to answer someone. And no, I'm just really excited to help you guys. So let me know. I really can't wait to hear from you guys. And happy architecting. You know, it's sometimes can be grueling work, but I really think this is some of the most fulfilling work at the same time. But you guys know how it is. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.